I gave this a very enthusiastic 5 stars. Sniffling and sneezing because I think it just makes everyone paranoid. Kind of dust, but my eyes are so itchy and red. And
is this what you want now, or is it because you can't forget?
good morning, everyone. Welcome back to another weekend vlog. It is Saturday. It's like 10 in the morning. I sound like Kermit the Frog because I don't know what it is. Maybe it's because I slept with all the windows closed, but it got really chilly last night. But I feel like now that it's fall, I always get some kind of like fall allergies, usually not as bad as the spring. But lately, I feel like when I sleep with all my windows closed and I wake up with way more stuffiness than when I sleep with them open. So let's open the window and see if that helps. Oh, it feels nice outside. Anyway, good morning. Like I said, it's like 10 right now. I'm about to make some coffee and then sit. And by the way, this stain, I'm not just vlogging in a dirty shirt. This is like a salad dressing stain that I've washed the shirt like a million times and it just will not come out. So this is also part of the merch that I made. So I could really just like get another sample sent to me and not have to wear the stained shirt, but it's comfy. But anyway, I'm about to make some coffee, sit on the couch and read my devotional for a bit and probably read for a bit too. I wanted to go to the farmer's market and like get an early start on the day, but these allergies are just like taking me out. And I also hate going outside now when I know I'm gonna be like sniffling and sneezing because I think it just makes everyone paranoid. So I got an order of Nespresso stuff in yesterday. I ordered one of the new seasonal coffees. This is it's the pumpkin spice cake coffee. I was nervous because I don't really love pumpkin stuff, and I definitely don't tend to love flavored coffees, but I'd heard good things and I like it. It's more spice, it's not sweet at all. But I also got some other things in. So I got the Bianco Forte coffee. This is definitely my favorite coffee so far. I also really like the espresso of that one. I ordered some decaf because sometimes I just want like a coffee at 10 o'clock at night without having to be wired. And then I got the Chiaro double espresso. This is my favorite double espresso. I posted a reel like maybe a month ago at this point when I was making an iced latte and I used this espresso. It's really good. It's really smooth. Just a good espresso time. So I'm going to grab a mug and make my coffee and just have a laid back morning. Okay, so it's about 12 now. I think it's just before noon. And I've pretty much just been hanging, chilling in the house all morning. But I took allergy meds, feeling a little better. So I'm gonna run to the farmer's market and also probably going to stop by Barnes & Noble. Just to like, you know, browse really quick, really low key. Just like a little stop at Barnes & Noble. So let's grab some stuff. I was looking for this one reusable tote bag I've been using and I can't find where I put it, so let me find that and head out. hours. I just put on a little bit of makeup because I'm getting ready to film a video. I also painted my nails. My nails were looking kind of crazy, and I used this polish by a brand called Triple O Polish. This is a black owned nail polish brand. I really like the color. I thought it was really great for fall. I need to clean it up a bit, but it looks really nice. This is the color Blah, B-L-A. I will link their website in the description box. I think this brand is awesome. They have so many great colors, and if you've struggled with finding a good nude for brown skin, especially darker skin tones, check them out for sure. They have a whole, like, I think they have 2 collections of nudes for like different skin tones, which is amazing because everyone deserves to have a nude. So anyway, I'm about to try to film 2 videos possibly, definitely one and maybe the intro of another. This lighting is so weird right now. I have all the books that I need to film pulled down. I'm doing kind of like a fall/October reading list, and I have a lot of books to get through. I think I have 12 books total to talk about. But yeah, that's what I'm up to now. Just gonna get through a little bit of filming, and then after that, honestly, I'm either going to edit for a little bit or do some work, or just try to get some reading done because I'm ready to start the lazy part of my weekend. So I will get filming and then catch up with you all shortly. All right, happy Sunday. I meant to check in a while ago on the vlog, but I don't know if I like moved something or like stirred up some kind of dust, but my eyes are so itchy and red and like puffy right now. I must have gotten like I said, some dust or something in them. I don't know. Well, I'm on the couch. I'm drinking this sparkling water called Sweet Reason. It is sparkling water that is infused with CBD. You all know, like, CBD has been a big part of my self-care, especially for managing my anxiety. And they were nice enough to send me a few of their flavors. They also gave me a discount code, so if you all want to give them a try, you can. I'll put the code here on the screen, and also the code and the link in the description box. They're really good. I tried the strawberry lavender flavor, which was good, but too much lavender for me. Last night I tried the cucumber mint, which I really liked. It was so refreshing. And now I'm trying the grapefruit. This is definitely the best one. I knew I would like this one the best because I just love citrusy things, but I think the CBD effect in it is pretty subtle. It doesn't really have like a hempy taste, but it does kind of have like, you can tell that there's something earthy in it besides just water, but not in a way that like changes the flavor at all, which I really like. And I think they're great. So yeah, code on the screen, also in the description box if you're interested. Check them out. I realized yesterday that we didn't really talk much about what I'm reading, which I think is the best part of the weekend vlogs. So yesterday I finished this book, The Girl Who Reads on the Metro by Christine Ferre-Fury. It's a really, really short book. It's like under 200 pages. I gave this a very enthusiastic 5 stars. This book is literally like 175 pages of a love letter to books and the people who love to read them. I thought this was such a cute little story. It's literally a love letter to books. Like, I was so entranced by all the words. The writing is absolutely beautiful. It is a translated work. This book was originally written in French, I believe. And that's interesting because if you remember from, I think it was in a vlog a while ago, like maybe even last year, I read that book, The Art of Sleeping Alone, which is also translated from French. And I mentioned that I just felt like it didn't translate well to English, and that made it kind of like a rough read. But this one was absolutely perfect. So we follow a woman who obviously takes the metro, and in addition to reading on the metro, she's always people watching on the metro and noting what other people are reading and kind of wondering what their stories are. And one day she's walking past this, like, she takes like a different route on her way to work. She walks past this open doorway and notices that it's propped open by a book. Because she has this crazy love of books, like most of us probably watching this do, she stops to go take the book out of the doorway because she doesn't want the book to be used as like a doorstop. So she sees it, she looks inside, she meets this little girl who ask her if she's here to become a pastor. And the pastors are a group of people, almost like the secret society situation, who take books and they bring them out into the world to place them with the reader who needs them most. So they follow people, they note people, and then they give you the book that you need in that moment. And this woman becomes one of these pastors. So it's just such a great story. Like, this is a great way to spend an afternoon. It's a really, really, really quick read, but I loved it so much, and I'm so glad I picked it up. I've had it for a couple of months now, and something just told me to grab that book, and I'm really glad I did. So on to what I'm currently reading. This morning I started the Book of Second Chances by Catherine Slee. This is a debut novel. I picked this up when I was actually at Barnes & Noble yesterday, so if you're wondering like what did she get, she never told us what she got. This is the only book that I got, and I got it because it's October and I'm working on preparing to do NaNoWriMo because I really want to, like, 2020 completely thwarted all of my plans for everything, but especially my writing, and I just haven't made the kind of progress that I want on my novel. So part of me prep-tobering is reading some more books in my genre. You guys know my novel is going to be like a women's fiction chick lit book. So I'm picking up some books that are, one, I want to read more debuts because I think that that is a very interesting perspective to be a writer from, and then specifically debuts within my genre. So I picked this up. I have a few other books that I'm hoping to get to this month to help me with my Preptober things, and I have a video coming out next week exclusively on how I'm preparing for NaNoWriMo. Also, I'm doing a live, will this video be out before then? Yes, it will. It'll be out obviously on Monday. I'm doing an Instagram live with Phoebe from Read and Write, who, if you're not following, you should absolutely be following Phoebe, and we're gonna talk all about like how we're handling Preptober, what our goals for NaNoWriMo are, and answer a ton of your questions. So head to my Instagram. I'm sure I'll have something about it in my story while you're watching this. In addition to reading the Book of Second Chances, which I did start this morning, and I got about 40 pages in or so, and I'm really liking it so far, in addition to like reading it for research. I also want to start Middle Game by Shauna McGuire this week. It is, you know, it's October, it's spooky season, like whatever that means, and this will definitely be my first like spooky-ish read. This, in addition to Alyssa Cole's new thriller, are probably the like top 2 spooky-ish books that I'm hoping to get to. But I also just filmed a video yesterday, the video that I showed you guys I was filming, all about like my fall reading list, so that will also be up after this vlog goes live. Speaking of books, I got a package in the mail, The Mirror. I'm not sure what this is. I think an innovative fairy tale series following one family over 7 generations. Ooh. And it looks like it's an anthology because I see Julie C. Dow, Danielle Clayton, J.C. Cervantes, and L.L. McKinney. L.L. McKinney wrote that series that reimagines Alice in Wonderland with a Black Alice, and it's kind of also Buffy the Vampire inspired. I read that a few vlogs ago. It was pretty good. I haven't read the sequel yet. So they sent me a fun little box. I'm trying to show you. The Mirror. 4 books, 4 authors, 1 family curse. The Mirror is an innovative new young adult fairy tale fantasy series from Disney Books, launching October 6th with Broken Wish by Julie C. Dow. Ooh. Through a quartet of authors, the story interconnects one family over several generations. Use your mirror to learn more about the series from the 4 authors. Share what you see. Share what you see. So this is The Mirror. I definitely see myself. And then we have the book. Oh no, I hate when this happens. Casualties of UPS, but it's okay. Still readable. So this is interesting. So this is the first of 4 books that are going to be released in this quartet. What is this one about? What book did Julie C. Dow write? I can't think of it right now. The Broken Mirror. This one is called The Mirror Broken Wish. 16-year-old Elva has a secret. She has visions and strange powers that she will do anything to hide. She knows the warnings about what happens to witches in their small village. She's heard the terrible things people say about the Witch of the North Woods and the malicious hunts that follow. But when Elva accidentally witnesses a devastating vision of the future, she decides she has to do everything she can to prevent it. Tapping into her powers for the first time, Elva discovers a magical mirror and its owner, none other than the Witch of the North Woods herself. As Elva learns more about her burgeoning magic and the lines between hero and villain start to blur, she must find a way to right past wrongs before it's too late. Interesting. I'm into this. I very much am into like all the fairy tale retellings and the way that we're retelling and reimagining fairy tale like in the modern age. So I'm excited for this. This also would be a really good fall book. It looks very like dark and haunty. Into this. So thank you so much to Disney Books for sending me a copy. All right, my eyes are still kind of like doing a lot, so I just uploaded a vlog today, so it's live by the time this is live, obviously. It's my Paris vlog from last year that I finally edited and is live, and I just put a thing on my stories to tell people go watch. So I'm going to just sit on the couch for a bit more and read, and then I'm going to take you guys through like how I get ready to prep for the week, essentially. I know I talked about that in an earlier quarantine vlog, but I feel like not a lot has changed because like we're still just in the house, but some parts of my like Sunday routine, Sunday prep has changed, so I'll walk you guys through that with me. Okay, so my desk is nice and tidy. I also picked up a little late latte. It's like almost 5 o'clock now, but I had to run out to get some chicken because I didn't have the chicken that I needed to make dinner tonight. So there was a Starbucks across from the grocery store. You already know the vibe. I got a latte with just 1 pump of the pumpkin. Usually I get either a latte or a flat white. 1 pump of pumpkin, better than a pumpkin spice latte. Just take my word for it. So what I need to do now is just set up for my week in my bullet journal and just in general, like get ready for the week. It's Sunday, work week starts tomorrow, like you know the drill. So there are 3 major buckets that I kind of do my weekly planning in. The first bucket is obviously like work, my 9 to 5. I just need to note like major upcoming deadlines, any meetings or calls that I have that week since I'm still working from home. Everything is happening here, but like things are still happening, so just stuff like that. And then the second bucket is kind of just like life stuff. So if I have like a doctor's appointment or a therapy appointment, or I need to do something, you know, just like general adulting task, that bucket. And then there is like content and buy Amber Burn stuff. So what content I'm coming out with for that week, any editing I need to do, any writing I need to do, any sponsored content I have coming out that I need to work on, or sponsorships that I'm trying to pitch, that kind of thing all needs to happen, just so I have a good idea about how I need to divvy up my time and my energy. What I do is every week in my bullet journal I make 1 weekly spread. I've gone through a few variations of what my weekly spread looks like, but I think I've come up with a really simple one that just works for me. And the point of that weekly spread is just to be able to see at a glance like what I'm committed to. I had a brain freeze. What I'm committed to that week, especially in terms of timing. Because for me, one thing that I was struggling with in quarantine earlier on was that like, because we're in the house all day, it seems like there's just like a big pot of time that I can pull from, when in reality, like, that's not the case. I can only do so much in one day. So all I'm gonna do now is set up that weekly spread and then start filling things in. And when I go to fill things in, I pull from 2 places. My work calendar, because I do write down my work meetings in this weekly spread. My Google Calendar, because if there are like major events or things that I would want to get a notification on my phone about, in addition to logging it in my bullet journal, I will also put it on my Google Calendar. And my brain dumps. So every week I just go, and I'm gonna do one today as well. I go into my bullet journal, or sometimes I'll even just use like whatever notebook is closest to me and just like brain dump everything that's in my head. Any content that I want to do, emails I need to respond to, ideas that I have, things I need to buy, packages that are coming, anything in the world. I just need to get it out of my head and on paper, and then I go through that brain dump and start penciling things in, either into my weekly spread or into my monthly spread, depending on when it's going to happen. And I also keep like a pretty, there's always usually a page in here that's just like a general ongoing, if you have time, do this, and sometimes things from my brain dump get put onto that list instead. And then when I'm going to make my monthlies and my weeklies, I can go to that list. So that's pretty much like the good thing about bullet journaling, is that everything is always on paper. You never lose it. It's never just that fleeting thought in your head. So as you build out your weeks, your months, and your days, you can just go back to that thought that you had before and turn it into something tangible. So that's where I'm at right now. I'm so glad I got a coffee, and let's get planning. So the setup is done, and this usually takes me like, I don't know, like less than 10 minutes I think every week to set up. I'm gonna tell you what supplies I use, and then I'll just walk you through my planning process. 2 spreads here. This is the weekly. This is a page for a brain dump. I literally just wrote brain dump at the top of the page. I don't always title it. Like I said, I don't even always do it in my bullet journal. Let me flip to an example of another. Here's one where I literally just wrote out like a bunch of things that were upcoming in the next week that I wanted to make sure I was aware of. Here's another one, literally just like list on list on list of things that I needed to be ready for in the week ahead. Setup is done, and this usually takes me like, I don't know, like less than 10 minutes I think every week to set up. I'm gonna tell you what supplies I use, and then I'll just walk you through my planning process. So 2 spreads here. This is the weekly. This is a page for a brain dump. I literally just wrote brain dump at the top of the page. I don't always title it. Like I said, I don't even always do it in my bullet journal. Let me flip to an example of another brain dump. Like here's one where I literally just wrote out like a bunch of things that were upcoming in the next week that I wanted to make sure I was aware of. Here's another one, literally just like list on list on list of things that I needed to be ready for in the week ahead. So that's the brain dump page. That's how it functions. The weekly spread is super simple. So it's literally just a couple of rows for each day of the week. For anyone who's curious, I go the entire width of the page across, and 5 dots in between each day. And that for me is usually enough. Sometimes, like depending on what it is, I'll naturally start writing so things fall in 2 columns. Sometimes I go straight across. It really doesn't matter. I will write in like meetings in chronological order, deadlines. Sometimes if I have a busy week and I don't even want to think about food, I will write out like a flexible meal plan within here. This is just an easy way for all of my weekly appointments, meetings, and major like deadlines to fall. So I'll fill this out, and usually, like I said, I'll do the brain dump first and let the brain dump guide any like major things I need to include in my weekly. And I'll also flip back to like a previous brain dump to see if there's anything that needs to be carried over. I'll also go back through like my daily list. So these are just like my to-do lists that I make every day, and try to see if there are any tasks that I didn't complete. Like these should have all been checked off because they were done, that I need to bring over into the next week. It's pretty simple. Note on the supplies that I'm using. So my number one go-to bullet journal supplier, especially if you're like me and you keep it simple but you want to keep it neat, is a clear ruler. I got this one from Jet Pens. I think it was like $2 or $3. I will, if I can find it, I will link it in the description box. I just like to use a ruler because I like straight lines. I know perfection is not everything. If you don't have straight lines in your bullet journal, that is fine, but I just like a nice straight line. I've also been using these markers. They are double tipped, so they have like a chisel, like felt tip on one end, and then not a chisel, a fine point on one end, and then a chisel like highlighter style tip on the other. These are super comparable to the zebra mild liners. They come in a bunch of colors. I'll just pull some that I have on hand. Like these, they have more of the muted tones that I really like. That zebra mount liner I found, while they have a lot, they didn't have all of them. So I found these on Amazon. They are a great dupe for the mount liners. They don't bleed through my pages. I do use a Leuchtturm notebook for my bullet journal, which has not super thin paper, but thinner paper than other notebooks. And I don't have any issues with bleeding or anything like that with these. I'm super loyal to my Muji gel pens. I use the 0.5 version usually, but I have been on the hunt for a new pen that I like even more because I'm a super nerd and testing out pens is a happy thing for me. So some that I've really been loving, the one that I used for all of this and all the filling in you saw me doing earlier, is the Zebra Sarasa Dry in 0.5. I really like this pen. It writes super smooth. It doesn't smear a ton. And it does pretty well with the highlighter. I think I like the Zebra clip pens overall. They're really good pens. Like I said, this side will get filled out with all of my deadlines, including like the content that I'm coming out with. I made this little mini calendar, and this is just like the help me track what days I'm releasing content. What you saw me filling in was writing in a little schedule at the bottom of the page here. But yeah, that's pretty much it. It's super simple, super straightforward, and it just helps me stay on top of things and helps me move things from my month into my day, and I don't feel like I'm lagging behind or overwhelmed with stuff when I have this in front of me at the start of every week. All right, thank you all so much for joining me for another weekend vlog. I know that, you know, quarantine is still so difficult and seemingly never ending. So I hope these vlogs are just like a little piece of something in your week that help to get you through, provide a little bit of solace in a year that is relentless. I'm gonna go finish filling out my bullet journal and also just like chill out for the rest of the night. I'm gonna pop dinner in the oven and just let the rest of this Sunday roll by because my week is gonna be kind of busy and I'm exhausted, to be honest. I don't know what's going on with my allergies, this whole eye situation. It's like always something, like I said. But thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. If you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to my channel. I post new videos every single week. Links to all of my social media, my blog, everything mentioned in the video, including the books, will be in the description box, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye.
Is this what you want now?